This week on RSBANDB Update, everything changes with the road ahead. 120 Construction, Leagues 2 Equilibrium, and Havenhythe Part 2 pave the road to RuneFest, which has us asking, what is the ultimate reason to welcome back old friends? Also, the mid-game update preview. This is RSBANDB Update, episode 1097, recorded Thursday, July 9th, 2026. Sacred Spaghetti. Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of RSBANDB Update. This week, everything has changed. That's the sense that I'm walking on in terms of where we were at Sunday and where we're at the end of this week. We're going to talk about the big roadmap that was announced. We're also going to talk about the mid-game rebalance and, of course, the beach replacement. But to do that, of course, Zerdones, you're here, as you are each and every week. Welcome back.
I am here. It's weird to hear my name in that sentence.
It works.
Been Tannis for so long, it's me now.
It works. I can find something else for you if you'd like.
Whatever. It feels natural.
Okay.
I'm just belly aching.
Also joining us this week, Lemon, ranked 60th Iron Man in the world. You wanted to talk about the early game rebalance, the mid-game rebalance, and the end-game rebalance this year. And boy, do we have a blog post of rebalancing this week.
And I have come prepared with thoughts.
Good. Because I have thoughts too. And I think, we need to just, kind of level with the community and maybe us, me and you and Pern. I don't know about user drones, but maybe we just need to have a come to reality moment about where things actually are. So we'll talk about that. And of course, Pern, welcome back. Everyone's second favorite Australian, or maybe
no.
First
I
now,
can
we'll
now Tannis is retired. I can now lay claim to favorite Australian again.
You're moving up in the world.
So we got
That's
somebody. I am the host. We got Zerdones to talk about the roadmap stuff. We got Lemon to talk about the rebalancing, and we got Pern to talk about beaches. But of course, we're all gonna mix and match and share stuff along the way. But if you guys want to follow along, full show notes can be found over at update.show. We have the Friends chat you can find in game at Bits Bytes, and the community Discord over at update.show/Discord. But I'd be remiss if we did not mention the experience tier Patreon members, because without them, this podcast would not go. This week, that's Amos Reed, Bladecom, Dominic R., Jade Gizmo, Jason S., Jesse W., Julia W., Kesky Plays, Lemon Lodge, Luminos, Ricky A., Sioaces, Smavin, Snail Mage, The Naked Captain, and Tim. Big, huge thank you, everybody, and if you want to hear more about all that, you'll hear from that at patreon.com/RSBANDB. Thanks so much. Thanks so much to all those people. But more on the general Patreon spot a little bit later. The road ahead, the road to RuneFest, has been paved with advanced knowledge of everything that's coming in July, August, September, and even a little bit beyond October. I guess just running it down very quickly from top to bottom, we got 120 Construction in the POH next week. We got Leagues 2 Equilibrium August 10th, Havenhythe Part 2 in September. And with the mid-game rebalance and GE improvements sprinkled in there towards the end of the month. Holy, what a roadmap is this? What do we think? Somebody jump in and take it away.
Talk about backloading the content.
I was shocked that Leagues was coming this early. I was expecting sort of that late September, October-ish again. So August, which I think is a good time for Northern Hemisphere people. It's your summer and such, people on break and things. Down here, it's a perfect time because last year they did it end of September when it's everyone's birthday in my family. So
Oops, awkward.
It's great because I missed the first couple of days. But yeah, the August release I think is a great time for it.
Yeah,
I'm so excited for Leagues.
Oh, me too.
It's going to be interesting, isn't it? With this,
yeah.
I want to see how they're going to do region locking on RS3. I can see it on OS. It works so well over there. I had a great time over there. I always said I will not play RS3 leagues if they region lock, but after my experience over there, and just sort of thinking, how are they going to do it here? I am really interested in trying it out. So, yeah, the Pern account will be back online and competing in that and seeing how we go.
Yeah, and
so
be
far,
interesting.
So far, we know that Mistlin and Havenhythe are the starting regions. So
which makes
will have
sense given
access
what
to
we had
those.
this year so far, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Havenhythe is a great area to have in that starting area as well for the content that it sort of has down there. So
yeah.
Go for that Ivar Mall.
Zerdones, you mentioned front-loading content, and obviously next week is the week for 120 construction and the POH and whatnot.
Ooh, yeah.
Did I say front-loading? I meant to say backloading.
Oh, okay, backloading.
Backloading content.
Backloading,
well, because that's the thing that I and not that he's here, but Havenhythe have been saying all year is, man, we're light on content this year. And, well, I guess we found it. We found where they've been hiding it.
July, August, and September were exactly where you were expecting it.
Because we were under the
clearly.
Impression that Havenhythe Part 2 would be like December or January.
Yeah, that was
that
was scheduled for the winter. That's when we were told it was going to be. So that's way ahead of schedule, which is quite surprising.
Yeah, same with the API stuff. That was winter, which I read as like January, February.
I read that as not at all, but that's wishful thinking on my part.
Well, yeah. I mean, the technical detail going into it, the technical debt they're overcoming.
Yeah.
It is surprising it's coming so soon.
Their goal with that is to launch with some flagship plugins and then have the community take it from there. So when I think flagship plugins, I think of things like Quest Helper. I think of things like the True Tiles and Clue Solver and that sort of stuff.
I hope there's a metronome one built in.
Metronome would be another good one. Menu entry swapper, maybe. That would be neat.
Oh, yes.
But that is an impeccable 4 months. So I'm led to ask at this point, what led to this massive shakeup to effectively compress all of that into one?
I think maybe they've just been under promising and over delivering. They're saying because I had the same thing. Havenhythe sort of end of the year, early next year, but I think they're sort of trying to say, well, hey, it's back there, but if we can get it done earlier. Which is what we really plan, but we don't want to give you that information in case we disappoint you. Something has come up. So I think it's sort of that under-promise, over-deliver type thought process that they're going into now.
Yeah, and up till this point, I, quite frankly, would have said that they have over-promised and under-delivered. So, to come in this strong, going off of, tentpole 120 construction into leagues, into Havenhythe Part 1, into RuneFest, into API, and then into, we have confirmed that the boss is coming after RuneFest. Into the Grazi Knights new boss. Like, it seems like they wanted a clear runway for RuneFest for the announcements, because substantially everything that was on the rest of the roadmap for the year is on the screen right now, right?
Like how do you in 9 months do your entire roadmap when OSRS put out a similar roadmap for 9 months and it took them 18 to do it? What is going on here? Like, was there some moment in not the June but the quarterly survey before June, because you can't pivot things that quick in software dev? I'm wondering if there was some realization in that quarterly survey that would have been around April or so that people were saying, hey, we need more content other than Road to Restoration and Havenhythe. I wonder if that shone through the survey and sent this entire thing into high gear.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, I expected construction this month prior to the announcement. Last month I was saying, surely we're going to get a blog for this soon. Turns out no blog, but
no blog.
Yes, soon.
I was thinking August for construction,
and everything
if
else,
I was being honest.
Everything after that. Sorry, go ahead.
I was thinking August for construction myself if I was thinking about it from that perspective, but
yeah.
Well, it's funny because when they announced, they're really pushing, check out the video, the road ahead video and such, and I'm thinking, we're going to get a big in-depth view into what the construction is and all that. So Shane said, have you watched the video yet? I said, no. I said, I'm getting everything done today. I'm just going to kick back tonight and watch it. He goes, it's 3 minutes long. And I'm going, what? So I thought, okay. So I turned off the TV. I put on the 3 minutes of YouTube, and it was still an exciting thing. But I would have loved to see more hype, I guess, and I guess that is a two-edged sword.
You mean hype around construction?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because, we have seen them sort of, hype things up before and be disappointed. So I'm really interested to see what happens with this construction.
This method goes back to how construction was launched in 2006, if I'm being honest. Because if we go back to the
remarkably similar
behind the scenes 2006, that behind the scenes article ended with one sentence. We are also adding some other features to the game later this month, such as clockwork toys for your cats, teleportation tablets, making your own cups of tea, and even chairs you can sit down in. And then on May 31st of 2006, those updates were construction and the POH.
Okay.
So I think they're kind of leaning on that same sort of mystique and skill launch vibe for this. I think that's probably why they chose that.
Well, it's worked with me because I am really excited to see how they're going to do it, and because I enjoy construction,
but everybody loses their house.
Well, that's but as long as I don't have to build that bloody statue for a third time, as I think I told the story before, where I wanted to move my study, so I just destroyed everything and then go, hang on, where's my statue gone? And I've Damarok statue, and I had to go and collect it all to rebuild again.
No, they have confirmed that the Damarok will carry over, and they fixed the bug that caused that.
What about our heads? Had they said anything about our heads, like our KQ and KBD head?
Nothing specifically, but what they said was, they said two things. One thing was anything that you've built that has an equivalent in the new system, you'll get for free. It'll carry over. And also, they're keeping all of the data for your house. So if they add anything new, so like, let's say they don't add a KQ head next week, but they do in 6 months, they'll still know that you had a KQ head, and you'll get that as part of that update.
Okay. Yeah.
As long as I don't lose my teleports in there.
Yeah, I was keeping my...
they've been very coy about what exactly they're adding, but anything that has an equivalent, you will keep, and anything that gets an equivalent later, you will also keep. So,
I was keeping a spare KQ head just in case in my bank if I...
the pets are what I'm worried about.
To do that, yeah.
I have so many KQ heads, so if you needed a spare, I could hook you up. I've got like
they're
20 of them.
tradable?
I don't know.
No. I think they high elk for. I don't know about the KQ head, but I remember the KBD one high elks for 30K.
Yeah.
So looking at this, for anybody who wants to do some preparation this weekend, I have my plank makers running mahogany and teak over this weekend. I am also in the process of chopping more eternal magic logs, because I imagine those are going to be useful, and you can't make the planks yet. And then I'm going to spend some time on probably Sunday just converting a few thousand of each of the top logs otherwise, so magic U and whatever elder is into planks, just to have them, just
the fort's very busy again at the moment.
Yeah, because people are probably leading into that same sort of idea. And I think everything else that we need material-wise is from stores that are going to have guaranteed stock in it. So aside from, I think, the planks...
Or will be new material from a new store we don't have yet.
Yeah, so the only thing I'd probably worry about at this point is the planks for anybody wanting to do prep over the weekend on that. So
yeah, I have to say, I think it is unfortunate that they didn't confirm a little bit of what the materials we might want going into this are. And also it would have been nice if they added like the Eternal Magic planks like a week before, but you know, in the way that they added seeds in before they added in farming, that would have been nice. But I get it.
Yeah. Well,
I want everyone playing with a shiny new toy on release.
We have such like there's such an amazing hype already around behind this 120. It almost feels like it's a new skill launch from what we're kind of all anticipating.
It kind of is.
Which maybe isn't, necessarily the healthiest thing, because we have not got any blogs aside from that initial, high in the sky idea blog post since then.
Yeah,
so we're kind of riding on the devs in this case. I think it's Ramen on this project. I think
Ramen, yep.
Kind of riding on him and his team nailing the community angle on this one, and people
it's not giving new skill release to me, but it is giving me mining and smithing rework. Because like substantially everything in the construction skill, right, is the POH, and the POH has been reworked from the ground up basically. So
yeah, it pretty much is a completely new skill.
Do we think this will displace the fort as the primary training method that gives the best XP? Because the fort's what, like 1.7 million an hour?
Well, it definitely would.
The high end?
I'm sure it would, because
crazy.
The fort ends at 99.
Yeah.
And if we're going to 120, there's going to have to be content in the 100 to 120 band.
Yeah. I have been very anxious about this update because I really enjoy build and destroy construction.
Right.
And I am so deathly worried that they're going to remove it, pun intended. But we'll see. We'll see. And
like, I don't want to, necessarily cook the eggs before the rest of the meal here, but this is Monday.
That's how that goes. Yep.
Shane, you always have the best expressions.
Oh, really? You think so?
Yes. I love new expressions I haven't heard of.
Okay.
I mean, that's no one has heard those expressions.
Shane does quite often mix and match those, so it's always fun to hear.
I gotta break that one out. I want to cook the eggs before the rest of the meal. It worked. I love it. I love it. Genuinely. Okay, anyway, sorry.
You got to break a few eggs to make an omelet.
So, moving in order to that, we kind of gave our initial thoughts of this at the top. Leagues 2 Equilibrium, region locking, new combat blessings, new relics, auto-completed quests. The auto-completed quest thing is the thing that everybody probably wanted the most of, and I think the combat blessings aspect of it is going to be so important, because aside from choosing a combat style based on what felt the best to you last league, this one might actually be able to kind of shift the table into making combat a little bit more interesting than it was last time, I think.
Yeah. Not just a melee.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, auto quest completed. At the start of last leagues, I hated all those quests being completed because I love doing the quests and such. But playing through, you can understand, well, hey, because they take so much time.
Yeah.
So having those auto completed and getting those rewards that are useful straight away, not having to work towards the quest, then getting that reward to do it, I think is a good thing. And the fact that they've sort of thought about that this time round, and getting it done early and such is a good thing. And it's
and that's actually a lot more. Auto-completed quests are a lot more important with region locking.
Yes.
Right. Yeah,
because that's the whole reason we got them in the first place in the OSRS leagues.
Right, because if you take Mauritania as an example, it doesn't make sense for you to have to work through the entire Myrek series to unlock the content that is there. Likewise,
and you might not have access to a prerequisite, because that might require Misthalyn's unlocked, but you get the gist.
Yeah.
Yeah. And was that you, Lemon, with the list of all the bosses about these regions in terms of like rough regional outlines?
We don't
know what they're gonna do yet, but I thought that list was interesting.
We don't know where exactly the region lines are going to be drawn, right? We can probably assume that like we know that Mistlin and Havenhythe are set, and Mistlin, there's been no subdividing there or anything like that. We can probably assume that like Kandarin is a full region and Asgarni is a full region, but like.
And then Wilderness and Daemonheim, I think, would make sense for another one.
Is Daemonheim in the wilderness? It seems that way.
And then,
likely.
Is Mazcab in the desert? Probably.
Do you include...
Where does the Ark live?
I was going to say, do you include the Ark and Anachronia with Mauritania? Call it Mauritania and Eastern Lands, maybe.
That's a big question right now. I've spent like three hours so far theory crafting.
I know, and we haven't even got the
we don't even know anything.
We have no information yet. There's nothing to theory craft on.
Yeah, my plan is to run back 200 mil all on leagues again, and hopefully have a good enough plan to secure rank 1 again. So we'll see how that goes.
I used aspects of your plan in demonic pacts. Specifically going for 99s, 25s, and 50 mils rather than pouring myself into clue scrolls, and that actually worked quite well. So I think if that's an option here, I'll probably be doing something similar like that again, just because of how shitty the clue experience is. At least for me. At least for me.
Yeah, no, it was not. It was not great. Reveals all this month. We don't know when exactly those are going to be starting. My hope is next week.
No,
it's the following week. Is it on the
20th
end of the month? I think
it's the 20th.
That's not a lot of time to
Equilibrium
prep.
reveal, and then the 27th is when the league's Equilibrium relic reveals start.
So that's 1, 2, 3 weeks of prep, basically.
Yeah,
that's not a lot of time.
No. For combat.
Okay.
For the combat side of it, do you think they do something like the Raging Echoes combat masteries?
I hope so. I mean, my general feeling on going into an RS3 league with expectations set from the OSRS leagues is like you're probably going to end up disappointing yourself just because they've had more iteration time, right?
Yeah, like
absolutely.
We're
this
not
was the
expecting
7th
the full
6th or 7th or 8th league this past
6th.
this year. Oh, it was only the 6th?
Yeah.
Oh. Wow. Okay, well 6. Either way, 6 is a hell of a lot more than 2, right?
Yeah.
And we're getting a leg up because we can steal some ideas and that sort of stuff. But yeah, I'm not entirely sure what to expect. People I've been talking to have had different expectations. Some people have been getting like a I don't remember all of the names of the leagues, but we're getting vibes from the one where the skills were locked, and I think that was a pretty universally panned league. So
it was.
We'll see what happens.
And I mean, we've talked about that too, and that maybe region locking isn't the easiest thing to do for RS3 just because of how vertical a lot of the requirement trees are for various skill trading methods and what have you. So
yeah, and let me just open up my the list that you were mentioning earlier. Because like if you look at the bosses, like all of the endgame bosses primarily reside in Mistlin.
Yeah.
Which isn't an issue if they're giving us Mistlin, but it's like Tyrannin has no bossing, right? Whereas in OSRS you've got Zulrah and you've got Corrupted Gauntlet. Kandarin has Solak and Legiones, which are like Solak if you're maging, but otherwise who cares? Like Fremenic for the DKs, like sure. We don't have good diversity in terms of bosses like OSRS does because we tend to cluster them in singular dungeons, right? So
yeah.
What about Slayer, Pern?
Oh God.
Again, Slayer's going to be a really hard one because I mean, that's where the wilderness is probably going to be a decent one to go for.
Yeah. The other thing they could do is they could do what they did in previous OS leagues, where every Slayer Master has the same Slayer task list.
Yeah, but I mean, again, there are some tasks you always want to try and, things like abyssal demons, the Mauritania Slayer Tower. I mean, they're great areas, but it's going to, as I said, it is going to be really interesting to see, and I'm going to do it just because I'm going to be interested to see how they pull it off with region locking.
Yeah.
And the relics, because the beauty of OSRS was
there was no wrong choice.
Really think, there was no wrong choice, but it was a hard choice. Oh, what am I going to go for? Whereas in our original one, it was like, you do that. It was like, I think everyone had an outright favorite. There wasn't a real even split. I think there was only one relic that had below sort of the 60%. Everything else was like in their 80s and 90% for the favorite. And then, so it's going to be interesting to see if they can get that, show that diversity, whereas what do I go for, and really make that hard choice for people.
Yeah, just to
I will not be doing the clue scroll as we said. That was
good.
the worst. I mean, I love clues, and doing that on the last leagues just it just deflated me so much, because it was just like there was
another thing
easy enough to do them, but it wasn't a fun
process.
No.
Another thing that comes to my mind with this is just how impactful a single tier choice can be, because on the OS League you basically had a choice of getting a best in slot gathering tool for each skill. You had the best in slot AFK performance, or you had something that jumped all of your stats ahead by 10 levels and provided you a GP solve. So those are the kind of hard choices I'm hoping for in this league, at least through some of the relic tiers on that.
Yeah.
That's right. I want to be pulling my hair out thinking, what am I going to go for? Because that's what it was like on OSRS. I'm going, and even it was not until day of, and I'm sitting there and I'm looking at them. I've got them up on my screen, and I'm still thinking, what am I going to go for? It wasn't pre-decided, and that made it so much more fun. So that's the itch they need
to. That's the itch they need to scratch. Then with that. Havenhythe Part 2. I mean, I don't know what else
so looking forward to this.
We can say about this. I guess it's where the mid-game perspective starts to shine through Havenhythe.
Yeah, well, at this point, really the only thing we know for sure is that the boss won't be coming with it. So,
which is after
we don't really have any information, right? We didn't get any at the beginning of the year.
No.
Okay.
Well, we know we're going into Shurukba, the vampire city.
Yes.
But beyond that, who knows what to expect?
But that's it. Why I'm expecting, because I mean, Havenhythe is our entry into it. It's a good sort of low game entry point and such. So I'm expecting something that next step up for that mid to semi high level area. More content, more storyline, which is what I'm looking forward to see how they go with the story.
And with it releasing
definitely
in September, that puts it in the
shock
in the release window to be coming out while Leagues is running, which is different.
Yeah, it'll be right on the tail end of Leagues.
Normally,
I was going to say, it sounds like it'll be right on the tail end.
Yeah,
there was a comment on the subreddit to the effect of like they're aware of not wanting to have pulling people in multiple directions. Yeah. So if there's overlap, it'll be a small overlap.
I
would assume that Leagues finishes and this starts, is what I'm assuming.
Well, see, here's the thing.
Might be a week of overlap, but otherwise.
Well,
Leagues normally runs for 8 weeks, right?
But it's most
6
people are over it
yeah.
by 6 weeks.
Yeah.
so they can pull some strings on that, and for those of us traveling to RuneFest, it'd just be nice to not have anything in the week after the event. If I'm saying that.
So you don't want Havenhythe. You don't want Havenhythe released the same week as you're going to RuneFest?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
Yeah, I don't think we're at risk of them. RuneFest is the 3rd and the 4th. I don't think that they're going to release it on the 5th.
Oh yeah,
no.
I would expect,
if for no other
RuneFest
reason
week.
that like the all of the J mods are going to be really exhausted.
Well, they released 110 rune crafting after last year's.
They did. That is true.
I would expect it pretty much to be a patch week that week.
I hope so.
Okay.
And you don't mind that after a RuneFest, the week leading up to and the week after RuneFest, you don't mind because you're going to be getting so much information. I want to be watching the videos of it. I don't want to be worrying about, what's coming out? What am I going to have to prepare for? I want to just kick back, do some AFK while I'm watching RuneFest.
Yeah, and that's the thing that, just gives me the biggest amount of comfort with this roadmap is that I know what's coming for the next 2 months, and I actually have, things I can pencil in, play around, plan content around, that sort of thing. Before we end this, though, we talked already about the plugin support, and, we'll delve more into plugins and the positives and negatives of them as we get closer, but I wanted to just pull from a couple of sentence fragments that Mod Ryan said near the tail end of the video here. He said that the goal is to put RuneScape firmly back on the map, with after RuneFest providing the ultimate reason to welcome back old friends and mentor new adventurers while respecting the old guard, and he spoke of unlocking RuneScape's true potential. What do we think that is?
Refer a friend and you get a gold name tag or something.
The return of gnome copters.
Yeah, that's it.
Now we're cooking with gas.
Oh, yeah.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
As long as it's not what we sort of talked about pre-show, I have no idea.
Yeah, I some people are speculating that we're gonna get not just fresh start worlds, but fresh start servers, and
that was my
Jagex
thought.
Jagex is pretty aware that would be unideal, right? To fracture the player base and basically create a players a class of players who are viewed as less than. I mean, we already have that with mains because they are inferior to irons, as we all know.
That's a really funny way of saying that mains are superior.
No. My take on if they were to do something like that, what they ought to do is like in the same way that we have irons and hardcores and group irons as, separate account types with, specific badge icons, chat badge icons, is just to make a thing that says, hey, this account was made after January 1st, 2027 or whatever, arbitrary date they might use for that. I don't think that's likely.
No, I don't either.
But if they were to do that, I think that would be the way to do it. But I have no idea what they mean by this.
I don't think that's likely because they took away the premier chat badge. Like they seem to not like the idea of stratifying players in that highly visible way. I mean, I think doing it with irons is a little bit different because iron players, like, there are meaningful differences in how you interact with those players in the game. So like that does actually make there's a utilitarian reason for doing it that way.
Correct. It's not just an identitarian. These are the impure / these are the pure.
I mean, it's also that, but it's
even
not just
though we
that.
may joke about that, right?
Well, you say joke.
And see, that's the thing. Like, that was my first thought, was it's going to be some kind of fresh start server thing where people, could have untainted, non-touched MTX accounts and whatnot. But
spiritually pure,
like,
morally
that is the ultimate
pure.
fracturing of the community, which you did with your combat update in 2013. So do not do something like that again that splits the community. Respecting the old guard, welcoming new adventurers, and welcoming back old friends, and unlocking RuneScape's true potential. So if it's not that, the only other things that really crept into my mind were highly technical and I don't think feasible, either being allowing an account to be, playing both OS and RS3 at the same time logged in.
That seems
I'd
implausible.
love to do that, but yeah.
And then the other thing that would be on that list would be some sort of account transfer from OS to RS3, but then again, you're creating that non-respect of the old guard stuff.
I've got it. They're merging the two games together to make one RuneScape, and you're just going to have everything of OS and everything of RS3 all together.
Don't forget Dragon Wilds. They're gonna merge Dragon Wilds in too. They're gonna bring back what are all the good fun orb games? They're gonna bring back Arcanists and
that's all going into the that's all
mobilizing
going into
armies.
Into that little game, the Gamers Grotto. We're going to put all those in the Gamers Grotto.
You might as well get the Moparscape in there then, the clicker one.
Yep.
We're going to finally revive Mechscape. Stellar Dawn is coming out 26 years later.
We'll bring back Mechscape and Mod Stew along with it.
Okay. So all kidding aside, what is this?
Years, but I want to visit that universe for a day.
Like Zerdones, you have the straightest analytical hat. Who isn't spurred by a hatred of one game or another, or a play type of one or another? What does your straightest analytical hat say?
Have I not been adequately communicating how much I don't want to play old school? Have I not adequately portrayed my distaste for that tomfoolery? I genuinely don't know. I mean, I feel like anything that I could say is going to be immediately wrong.
But it'd be funny if you were right, and it might be funny if you're hilariously wrong.
I mean, okay, so how did they phrase it? Back on the map, ultimate reason to welcome back old friends.
And mentor new adventurers. So they're trying to do something that's going to bring back old players, increase the new player base, which, if they can do that, kudos to them. I mean, they will have done something I would think is impossible.
He also mentioned
you are going to get a huge influx of new players.
He also mentioned showing Homeworlds lively again.
Showing Homeworlds lively.
Yeah, like showing your Homeworlds be lively again.
That's
I mean, it's lively if you go to the place where people are.
We're
cutting down to 5 worlds.
Yeah, I mean, that thought crosses my mind, but reading that sentence, this is going to be a walk, so bear with me on this. I'm thinking back to when I was in university. I took a business strategy course, and we talked about different kinds of strategies. And there was one strategy that we talked about. It's called Blue Ocean, and the description of it in the textbook was like, be faster than other organizations. I'm misremembering exactly what it was, but the gist of it, I just was reading this blurb and I just couldn't help but thinking to myself, they're telling you to just do business better than everyone else, which, yeah, I agree. That's a fantastic business strategy.
How are you going to implement it?
Yeah, you're not really telling me what you're going to do here. So, like,
what if it's making the entire game free to play and bringing back Hero Pass or Battle Pass?
I mean, that thought occurred to me as well. They could be doing a Battle Pass again.
No, they'll never do that again.
No, they're not, because, like, I'm with Pern on this. I don't know how they can implement this, because it sounds like they're saying we're just going to make the game perfect and everything everyone dreamed it would be forever, and it will be puppies and unicorns shitting rainbows for the end of time. And like, cool, but how are you going to do that without pissing off somebody?
Well, I sent Sirion a message before we began this, asking him that exact same question. He's sleeping right now, but we'll see what he says when he wakes up as his answer to this one, because he is, of course,
phone. Ring him.
One of the famous people who
wake him up,
who left RS3 as a result of not Hero Pass itself, but Jagex's reaction to Hero Pass.
Yeah.
And, just everything else, mid-game wise and whatnot.
That's always been the one thing with this company. There's always been a lot of knee-jerk reactions to a subset.
And if I can be honest with you, there's a lot of the leadership over the years of this company that was too timid and wasn't willing to shake the box and do risky things after EOC.
Well, every time they did, they got their hands slapped.
Exactly. I was going to say, when the problem with that type of thing is when you're in a leadership role like that for a company that is beholden to a parent company, in that you have to be bringing money in, it's very hard to make those controversial, let's just go outside and do this, because you have to pass it through the board. You have to get everyone on board about it. And you might want to do it, but the people that you're working with and such don't want to risk their jobs, don't want to do that shake-up. And it is...
Right. You need to meet your revenue goals.
To get exactly right. And that's the big thing with these type of companies. You have a revenue goal you must meet. And if you're not doing that, and that's why, I mean, Shane and I were discussing earlier, we're talking of the revenue about the current stars, the price for XP on that type of stuff. I mean, that,
I have my back of the envelope math right here for another episode down the road.
Yeah, and that's it. We'll talk about that another time. But I mean, these are the things with as a company leader, in that management position, you have to be thinking about those type of things of where is the money going to come in from? If I do this shake up and it fails, and we've cut back something else, all of a sudden I'm missing my threshold, and it's not just my job on the line, it's the 4 or 5 people under me who've come along to do it as well. And it's very hard to do that type of thing. And that's why it's going to take some real out of the box thinking, and sorry to be crass, but it's going to take some real balls to go against everything and be able to do something that is going to bring in a whole new player base, as well as your old players, who have quit or who have moved over to OS and such.
I have on the screen the population graph. This is what you have to fix.
Oh, I want to see this.
This is what you have to fix.
Exactly.
The green line is OS. You just have to bring them closer together. That's all.
Yep.
Okay, so here's
RS3 is your main game.
I know you keep saying that, Pern, but it's demonstrably untrue at this point.
Yeah. Well, exactly, and that's what I'm saying. It's clearly not by these numbers.
Yeah, and it's never going to. Well, I mean, never say never, but like,
even when we say, I mean, yes, 40% of that player base on OS are bots. Even that does not bring those numbers to where they should be. RS3 is supposed to be your flagship, and when it is running, I mean, look at June 2024. Dragon Wilds was getting almost as many people as RS3, and that is a scary thing. Okay. And that as a manager, as a CEO of a company, that should have you fearful.
Yeah.
That's
what were you
going to
say,
make you start thinking.
I was going to say, okay, you want a pie in the sky, never going to happen in a million years, hilariously wrong guess. Jagex is going to buy itself back from CVC, and it's going to become a co-op owned by its players.
That would be great. But
never in a million billion years.
No, it won't happen. But
there's my hilariously wrong prediction.
I'd much rather it be a worker co-op than a consumer co-op, but like I'll take whatever co-op I can get.
Hey, Elon, can we borrow 500 million?
He doesn't. I don't think he has that to spare at this point. Look how SpaceX is doing.
No, but the graph says what needs to be done, and the thing is, can you make a dent in that with this announcement coming after RuneFest and everything else that you're doing this year?
You don't want to be bringing that green line down to bring the blue line up. You want to bring the blue line up to the level of the green line.
Yeah,
right. And that's why I've always found the trend of courting old school players very misguided, or at least what I interpret as a trend of courting old school players is very misguided, because you don't want to convert old school players to RS3 players.
That
would help you.
But when you inevitably have churn, you want to be able to catch those players rather than them going to Final Fantasy or or WoW or wherever else, right? If you can catch them and keep them within your company, then that is a boon for you.
Sure.
You want players really playing all your games. You want them playing all three games. And that's that's where they need to get, and they need to, and it's not impossible, but it's very improbable. We all say the bot nuke was the greatest thing to happen, but that was the biggest dent in the company in player base and revenue. Once they cut out bots on RS3, and we see that over on old school RS. 30 or 40% of the player base is bots.
Yeah, there's been some great work.
It doesn't really hurt the community though.
There's been some great work that's been done in the OS community and just RS community in general to actually try and estimate how many bots are in that game, and it is a substantial number. Yeah. And
that's right. But it hasn't really hurt the economy that much, has it?
No.
There are interesting conversations you can have about the effect of bots. Bots in some ways can actually have a positive effect on the economy.
Right. And the example I want to give for that
the price of certain resources
is that my mid-game training in OS was entirely fundable with herb farming, and it really wasn't that much to get everything up to the high 70s in terms of the viable skills as a result of that. So the bots did help for that, but I still don't think that that's necessarily healthy. And, I'm with you, Zerdones. I don't necessarily think that this game, that RS3, needs to become or should become OS.
Well, no, it clearly shouldn't for self-evident reasons. We already have an OS. We don't need two of them.
We have OS at home.
Right, exactly. We have old school at home. If you're Jagex, there's no point in making two products that serve the same niche.
Correct.
That's I don't use this term lightly. Stupid.
Well, have we actually if you look back at Jagex's business decisions from 2012 until 2025, there have been those sort of business decisions you could classify as that.
There have been some very questionable decisions, but I still think, the Sixth Age as a marketing term, the 2013 change, EOC, the Sixth Age storytelling, all that stuff, that was an odd decision because that was very much pivoting your customers away, that was cutting your nose to spite your face. That was, you have this customer base that likes the product you have. Screw those guys. We're going to court this other this other product segment or this other customer segment instead. That's silly, but it's not, I wouldn't call it stupid, because if you can pull that off, that's a perfectly valid business strategy. Companies do it all the time.
You can reposition. You do need to remember at that time that a lot of the company was hemorrhaging players
Yes.
because the combat was boring.
And that's that's one of the silliest things that I always go back to with OS. It's like, you guys were on record when EOC came out saying that you're losing players because the combat is boring, yet somehow you put out, 3 raids and some introductory teaching bosses, and all of a sudden the combat system of old school is okay?
Yeah, I mean, it's... To say that the combat system of old school is the combat system of pre-EOC is technically correct, but is...
There's been a lot of
changes missing all of the nuance.
And yeah.
It misses all of the nuance, and it misses all of the substance that is around everything that is combat. We'll touch on some of this later when we get to the mid-game rebalance, but
we should do that.
There is depth and nuance within that combat system that
people find skillful,
kind of divined from the bones.
Yeah,
it was not something that could have been made, and OSRS could not have been made in 2012. OSRS was terrible in like 2015. Like, let's be real.
Yeah.
But it has become something. And it really was what, 2018,
and that's because of their developers.
2017, where it really got popular. So
yeah. And that, again, because of their development and leaders.
So,
the other thing, and again, remember when OSRS come out with the amount of votes, it was just going to be there, no updates, this is it, you can play that. And then they started doing developments. They brought in God Wars Dungeon, they brought in the GE, they did all that type of stuff. The problem with RuneScape is the parent companies, the ones who are buying it, aren't buying the company to develop it and to get a player base. They're buying it to build up revenue, to on-sell it and make money to the next buyer.
Such is the life of private equity and late-stage capitalism.
Exactly right. And that's been the ongoing thing that we've had to face all the way through, is it hasn't been bought by a gaming company who wants to develop and preserve those things and make great content. They want to make money. That's their bottom line.
Yeah, at the end of the day, OSRS is successful because the way that it generates money is by growing, because it can grow and it has been able to grow. Whereas when you have a product like RS3, which was in its dog days, right? It was no longer a cash cow. You pivot into extractive models, and that has a negative well, it's a positive feedback loop, but it's in a negative direction in terms of player satisfaction and player retention, right? Which
I guess
gets us to where we are.
Yeah. So
it was that short-term gain, but long-term pain.
And I guess the reason the thing that you say with that is that how do you then use what we've just highlighted about the success that drives OS? How do you take that, capture it, and apply it to RS3 that unlocks RuneScape's true potential and allows it to welcome back old friends and mentor new
adventures? To look at not making as much money for a few years and getting that player excitement, bringing out stuff that players want to play that may not be generating a whole lot of money initially, but as you're building up a player base, is going to increase those memberships and such. And that's going to be a very hard thing for them to do nowadays.
Devil's advocate, isn't that kind of what this whole year has been about?
Correct.
Like, isn't that what, like,
that's what Road to Restoration was supposed to be about.
Yes.
But
exactly. That's where I'm going with that thought is we had that promise in January. Yep. So what is the next promise? Like, are we doing, like, is that just not continuation of what we're already doing? Or is this an admission of the thing that we've been doing isn't working?
Well, I don't think it's not working. I think we've seen the MTX go. We've seen, the price of stars is quite reasonable. The marketplace, I mean,
but is that bringing in players? Is that bringing in revenue?
No, and that's the thing. So the next level is that gameplay. okay, we've taken off the MTX, we've done this, we're getting that trust back. Now what we have to do is bring out actual gameplay that is going to excite players, get them telling their friends, getting new people in, advertising. You cannot specify how important advertising is to people who like this type of game, and that's the biggest thing.
Yeah.
You know, if Sirion doesn't give me if he doesn't give me a good answer, I'll just blast this out to other old school players, and we'll see what they have to say on that, because I honestly don't think there's too many old school players who would want to play RS3.
No,
I disagree with
that's
that.
The whole thing.
I disagree with that.
Oh, you do? Okay.
You want to have players playing both games, or all three games, actually.
Why do you think that, Lemon?
I mean, for one, there are old school players who are coming over and are playing it. Like, demonstrably, there are players who are coming back and trying it, and their response has been, "Oh, this is actually like a lot better of a game than we were told that it was."
Right.
You know,
I maintain that was always the case. It's just that, you know, MTX 100%. Was just preventing people from 100%. Seeing that.
I will say one of the things that I credit to OSRS's success is that it built a good game that was there to catch people when they were looking to find a good game. And to whatever degree OSRS has done, not under the same name, but has done a Road to Restoration type project in terms of what are the things that are wrong with our game, let's take an iterative process in making it better. Yeah. They've been doing that since...
year over year.
I mean, all of their initial updates were that, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
And you look at, you look at where Zaya is now, and you look at where Zaya was on release, right? You know, and you think about like, okay, well, first it was this hideous creation, and then you even iterations on how it looked and what the function was and all of this. You think about like. You think about how they got rid of the favor. You know, first you had to redo the favor, and then they made it so the favor was permanent, and then they just got rid of the favor because it was terrible, and and it didn't matter that people had to suffer through it, so do you. It was bad, so they got rid of it, right? Despite the accusations that OSRS gets about hazing culture and all of that, which is certainly based in reality, but OSRS built a good game, and it was there for people to catch people when they were looking for it. RS3 is on the early steps of that, right? We still have a long way to go. Whatever this big tease is that is coming next year, there are still going to be improvements that are going to be made in terms
absolutely.
Further, like we've had some iterative changes on XP rates and agility. At some point, are we going to see like mechanical changes to agility? Like that's going to be something that needs to happen at some point.
Yeah. All right.
But what you've also got to remember is OSRS come out at a time when Twitch was also starting to get popular. You've got a game that's 20 years old. OSRS was essentially a new game because it was all new accounts. So you didn't come in with your everything at 99 already.
Yeah.
You began at 0 and built up, and it come in at a time when Twitch was growing. It's a new game, so to speak, where people are building from low levels and going up, and it took that community of people who were already doing RS3 videos but were starting to lose views. They've jumped over to OSRS and brought in that new generation of viewers who then jumped onto OSRS to give it a try and things, and they had that growth coming from that as well, where RS3 never really, because of what was happening at the time, there was a lot of controversy and a lot of things going on that it just didn't get that takeoff on Twitch.
So I guess then if we're just going to end this off, Zerdones, do you have anything to add?
No, I don't think so. Eagerly awaiting to see what they're actually going to come up with.
Yeah, because I was going to say, like, the thing that just pops into my head with all this is that maybe the best thing going forward is just a straight up commitment to develop the game that RuneScape needs to be. And I realize that's not really, like the most shiniest thing here compared to this, but you have to wonder what the big splash is going to be. I think that, you know, based on how we've shredded apart the idea of a fresh start server or any of the other kind of, you know, crossover stuff, I don't think it's going to be anything we talked about here on the panel. But it'll definitely be interesting to see when we get to that point what
I'm interested to see when Dragon Wilds drops on PlayStation, if we get anyone sort of from that platform having a look at RS3 on a computer base.
Oh, I hope so, and I bet that would be the case. But
that's what I'm hoping is people. Oh, so this has been fun. What's RuneScape like? And jump on board and have a look, because I've already told I've got 4 family members getting Dragon Wilds as their Christmas present on PlayStation. I've told them. I said, no, you're going to get this. You're going to be playing it, and then you're going to see why I like RuneScape, and you're going to jump on and start playing. And they reckon, well, if Dragon Wilds is good, they said they will give RuneScape a go. So
actually, there's another pie in the sky. RuneScape on Switch.
Oh, RS3 on the Switch. Be good? Wouldn't that be fun?
I mean, you kind of have to improve the mobile experience first, I think.
It's a thing you can do. It's in the cards. I mean, we got plugins in 10 months.
Yeah, I will say that the game is not it is not the best experience to play this game on console with a controller.
Sure.
It's viable. You can do it. I have done it. I wouldn't recommend it, but also like I didn't optimize for that, right? If you had a dedicated, you know, like control experience for that, you could make it a lot better. Okay. But again, I wouldn't be a recommendation.
All right, moving from pie in the sky down to ground level again. Big huge thank you to our Patreon members this week. All of them, including Alvaro L, Amos Reed, Arvid L, Bladecom, Chubura, Dominic R, Duramax, Forceful Turd, Gila Fleur, Imperialis, Jay Gizmo, Jason S, Jesse W, Julia W, Kesky Plays, Lemon Lodge, Luminos, Matt Man, Mighty Myth, Michelle M, Mike Wings, Mongrath, Pronancius, Ricky A, Robbie D, Samuel FL, Scott DS, Shirt Pats, Sioaces, Smavin, Snail Mage, Squidman 8, The Naked Captain, The Devon Goat, Tim, Ukulele Steve, Woody, Zant, and Zazakon. Thank you so much, everybody. Your support means the world to us. If you're wondering what all this is about, patreon.com/RSBNB. There, you can, of course, support the podcast monetarily if you want to, starting from as little as $1 a month. For that price, you get a thank you in our show notes, access to the full monthly bit library, and voting rights on upcoming monthly bit topics. We're going to be recording one next week. We're going to be talking about tutorialization in RuneScape, which I guess is kind of a relevant topic given everything that we just talked about welcoming players back.
Oh yeah, I mean if you're trying to attract new players and even lapsed players, like your new player experience is everything. If people don't connect with your game in the first hour, they will bounce right off of it.
Maybe that's it. Maybe that's the update, a new player experience for the umpteenth time.
Maybe. I mean, I would love to see something that's not Tutorial Island, but I'll save that.
You're in the minority on that, according to many people out there. But
I know, and I don't understand. I mean, I do, but I don't understand it.
Yeah.
We also have our VIP community tier for $3 a month. You get a VIP Discord rank, special chat channel, and monthly shout-out on the show. And from time to time, we'll also consult with you on how to make update happen, whether that be monthly bit ideas, discussion topics for quiet weeks, and, of course, our community nights. Then we have our insider tier, where with that you get a weekly shout-out on the show, access to expanded clips, and, of course, blooper outtakes as well. And plus with that, we do provide the Patreon RSBANDB update Christmas card at the end of the year in December with that. So patreon.com/RSBANDB. Thanks so much, everybody. Okie dokie. Well, we kind of alluded to it a little bit in the, what can be done to bring new players in. One of those things, the mid-game rebalance. coming at the end of the month. The biggest part of this update, honestly, the Fletching Re-tier. That's finally making its way into game.
At long last.
So this is, for anybody who's unaware, this is the re-tier that sees things like use short bows and long bows being re-tiered to level 70, with free-to-play members having level 40 and 50 ranged opens through Maple and Acadia bows. They're going to be adjusting drop tables, adjusting the achievements and quests. Longbows are coming back. Ammunition is being added up to primal, and bolt and arrow proficiency leveling benefits will be removed, amongst other things. And there's a whole table here of the various re-tier levels going on with this. But Lemon, I know you had some concerns on how all this is sitting.
So, do you remember last year? Actually, was it the year before now? Oh my god, was it 2024 when GIM came out?
Yes,
is a lot.
October 24.
Oh my god, time flies. You remember when Group Iron Man came out and we were talking about how everybody was complaining about how you were supposed to get ranged progression.
Yeah.
You know what the big question there was? How do you get a level 60 bow? Do you know what we don't have?
A level 60 bow.
We don't have a level 60 bow because
where's our dragon bow?
Because mahogany is a hardwood and it doesn't make for a good bow, which is true. But I don't know. Does anybody make? Anyway, it doesn't matter. We don't have a bow. We do have a crossbow, so this is a null issue. But also, it just really bothers me. It bothers me way more than it should.
Crossbow supremacy. We're going back to RSBANDBupdate.
I think the thing that is frustrating about this re-tier to me, there are a couple of things. The first one I want to talk about is, so we have bows and we have crossbows and we have short bows and we have long bows and then we have crossbows. The short bows and the long bows are now, for all intents and purposes, the same.
Yeah, because weapon speed is no longer a thing for us.
Weapon speed is no longer a thing. The only thing that I can tell, at least, that longbows have going for them is range.
They have a longer attack range,
which doesn't seem significant to me.
I mean, like it's certainly better than not, but it is not a thing that anybody will really like notice or care about, right? What is functionally, like, what is the difference between a two-handed crossbow and a short bow and a long bow? And like technically there is an answer there, right? One uses bolts and one uses arrows, and like certain monsters are weaker to bolts than they are to arrows.
But once you're beyond a certain level, it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter, and also like nobody's going to be like, I need to go and make a bow and crossbow for a bow and arrows for this because my crossbow that I have been using is less good because this specific thing is weak to that. We have 3 different types of weapons that are functionally the same. And that doesn't even factor in a conversation about javelins, darts, and thrown axes, which have been not included in this project because, quite frankly, they don't matter.
This is something that's been annoying me about combat in general for a while. The only differentiator, the world we're heading to, the only differentiator after this year's combat update for weapons is the actual raw stats the weapon provides and the special attack that it provides.
Yeah, and if it has a passive.
Yeah.
Like there's for all intents and purposes, there's functionally no difference between a crossbow, a longbow, and a short bow, or darts, or thrown axes.
Unless you're really leaning on something that is,
right?
bigly weak to one of those types.
I mean, even then, like, accuracy is not that significant anymore, especially not since we got rid of splashing. Like, it's nice. It's good to have. You'd rather have it than not. But A, we have so many ways to boost accuracy. And B, you don't splash anymore, so it's just less efficient.
Yeah.
Slightly less efficient.
It's just not a thing that people are going to be considerate about because it's not a thing that quite frankly, it's not a thing that the game wants you to care about.
But
it does marginally matter, but it really doesn't matter.
So what fills the... So I have two questions on this then. I think that this is primarily a combat problem. The one thing I will say that is a fletching problem is this gulf between level 50 and 70. Sure. Obviously, you have the Acadia longbow in there, but still, that's a 15 level gap unless you're to be doing
crossbows
there.
Yeah, you have adamant crossbows, or you have orichalcum crossbows at 63
and necronium at 73. Which means that you need to, of course, find somebody smelting the limbs for those. So, I mean, maybe that's where people go, or
ammo,
or just ammo.
Ammo is
Isn't that always how you've done fletching?
The leveling you do
Correct.
through ammos. Yeah,
correct. It is. This is such a non-solution to the problem. When you consider the fact that not only is ammo just massively supreme in terms of training methods, it's also massively supreme in terms of resource availability when you consider the broad's availability from Slayer shops versus bows and fletching them. But it's just was this really a problem? Was this a problem that needed to be solved, and does this solve that problem, right? The issue was that
I think you and I talked about this. In my mind, this comes back to that Reddit thread when they first posted what the mid-game rebalance was going to look like.
Mm-hmm.
And people, talking about lack of mid-game content. But I don't think they were talking necessarily about fletching. Obviously, fletching being a project that had multiple game jams have worked on it, you just put that in the oven and finish it, right? But, I mean, this is a nice way to carry the mid-game update. I'm going to say that wholeheartedly, that I think this is good. I think this should be in-game, but I don't necessarily, know if this was as big of a problem, like you're saying, Lemon, that people are saying it is.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, Shane. I do think this was I think the fact that a level 40 bow required level 65 fletching is a problem. I don't think it's we're going to throw this and this is 60% of our mid-tier rebalance level of problem. It's a game jam. Let's release it as a game jam week and be happy with it.
So I'm going to put aside the ammo to the side, because while that is a relevant part of the conversation, it is separate, kind of. If you just need a level 40 bow, you can just buy a level 40 bow. Why do you need to worry about crafting it?
Yeah, isn't there a story?
But then why do we have a crafting skill? Why do we have the fletching skill?
Yeah, I mean, I don't. Yeah, I'm not necessarily saying that the thing that should be is that all of these early game weapons, levels 1 through 50, all items, all tiers in that progression for all three styles are buyable. I don't know that that's necessarily the correct option, but that is the state of the game. So if you can trivially just go to Varrock and buy a maple short bow, why do you need to be able to craft one at a reasonable level? This is the same issue that we had with mining and smithing prior to the rework. And I know we've just had a massive conversation about OSRS, but over in the OSRS world, there is always brewing this conversation about how it's terrible that you craft rune at level 90s in the 90s, whereas it's level 40 armor, and that's bad design. I'm not going to say that that's good design, but also does it matter? is the question that I have, right? Like,
no,
you
yeah,
can buy all this, you can buy all the rune gear from shops anyway. Like, what does it matter? You can kill a fire giant for a rune scimitar. I mean, I know we can't do that anymore because of the mighty smithing rework, but
yeah,
you
but
could
in
kill
general,
you could kill a fire giant for a rune scimitar. So why does it matter that you can't craft a rune scimitar?
I mean, you can make the argument. You can say that it doesn't matter, and if you say that, I will back you on it. But then I don't think you get to complain about skilling, about nobody caring about skilling. Because shit like this is why people don't care about skilling. Or at least it's part of the reason they don't care. The other part of it is the ammo side.
So I'm going to say something that's controversial here.
Please do.
This mid-game rebalance should be called the mid-game buffing exercise. Because there is nothing in this news post that is a nerf or questions exactly what the identity of the mid-game is. And the one thing that this presents, this Fletching Re-tier presents, and we'll get to Divination and Agility shortly, is that the sole purpose of the mid-game, like we talked about on that one episode, now seems to be codified with this update, that the whole purpose of the mid-game is to get you to the end game. And from that, it's nice to have, better ammunition, better bows, and better crossbows to train fletching with. But I'm kind of on your side, Lemon, with this, is that it's nice, but it's like, what's the point when you blast through it so quickly?
It is cohesive with previous decisions that have been made in this design space, but I don't believe that those were the correct decisions to make.
Fair. Go ahead, Fred.
What you said about the point of the mid game is to get you to the end game. It's like so true. One of the things I hate that, like, every time I need to make a point about something, I have to go and talk about old school RuneScape.
And see, you had one of the best reasons. You had one of the best reasons that people told me, and I'll get to you, Pern, in a minute. I saw that you wanted to say something, but you, Lemon, had one of the best reasons to not play OSRS and its most recent league, and you said, if you played that, you might not want to come back.
Yeah, OSRS is a great game. Like, why would I not want to keep playing it?
And I see the mid-game rebalance as something that should try and fix that. So, go ahead.
Okay. Again, looking at it from our competitive Iron Man side, remember when I was trying to hunt yaks for us?
Yeah.
Okay. I wanted to do it because I wanted to level up my range level. My biggest thing was I could not make arrows. Yeah, I could go to the stores and buy them, but at the time money wasn't easy to come by.
I think we told you to use chins and rune knives.
Yeah, but again, I wanted to have that experience. Now, you say, oh, yeah, well, you just go to and Slayer. I mean, the broad bolts now, you don't have to do it daily. You can just buy them once a week and get the whole lot for the whole week with the new update. But at the time, you could only buy 3,000 of those bolts a day. They weren't a great bolt. I mean, I wanted to use Rune. My mining level was up there, but my fletching level wasn't. So I'm stuck using mithril or adamant. I mean, that whole game experience of being able to create your own. Yes, I can go to the shops and just buy it, but I want that experience of I want to be a true self-sufficient Iron Man. I'm trying to not use the shops where I can. I want to make the things that I need to use. And arrows are a great, a great fletching training tool. And having rune at the time, I needed 85 fletching, and 85 smithing to make level 50 rune arrows, which was just absolutely crazy. I won't deny that the primal bow and the primal arrows are going to be good for our game. Exactly. I've just made an elder the Eternal Elderbow for us. Primal crossbows, they're the next thing that I'm going to be sort of making, and when we're ready for them, because you do need 99 range to use all those, but at least I'll be at those levels to do that. So yeah, mid game, it's not useful as such, but it is a great training method, and that's what I think we should be looking at. Is the training side of it, to try and keep things at a level that is useful for that level. I mean, what is the point really of making rune plate bodies at level 99 when they are a level 50 armor?
Yeah, that's dumb.
Exactly. So, and that's why we had that rebalance on the mining and smithing side, and that's why.
And I don't think Lemon or myself are saying that it's not a good idea to have this re-tier. It's just a question of like, how do you rein everything in? Is that what your Order to Chaos comment was kind of going at, Lemon?
Yeah, and that's
no, but the issue that I have with part of the issue that I have with the re-tier is like, there's not a discussion of what is lost in all of this. And again, this is a conversation that is larger than Fletching and this specific re-tier.
Yeah.
But like when we did the mining and smithing rework, and we made Necronium armor and Orichalcite and Elder Rune, it's like, that had a very deprecating experience on like Barrow's armor and like Dragon armor and like all of these things, and it's like, was that the correct solution to that smithing problem? It may have been the correct solution to the smithing problem, but there are these downstream effects where now a number of your mid-game bosses are not relevant to do in the mid-game, right? Which exacerbates this point of like, the only point of the mid-game is to get to the late game. Whereas in OSRS, right, you can't craft rune, but your Barrows is relevant and your Dragon is relevant. Well, Dragon's not really relevant, but that's neither here nor there. Well, some of the Dragon is kind of relevant. And your Perilous Moons are relevant, right? They have is mining being relevant better than Barrows still being relevant and Perilous Moons being a thing? I don't know.
But that's it. I mean, you've got to weigh up who's more important, your skilling community, your PVM community. And it is hard to get. I mean, you're never going to get a true real balance, and that's why the stuff that you smith cannot be augmented.
Yeah.
That's I mean, what I would always have liked to have seen is something like your Barrow's armor being needed to attach to the level 70 armor to give it some sort of bonus increase, allow it to be augmented as such, like that. I mean, that type of thing would have been good. Or you can make this I mean, it's going to be so hard to do. The other thing is, I don't know, as you said, I mean, you've got 4 different tiers of the same weapon, essentially. Why do we need a short bow and a long bow? Just make one bow.
Yeah.
Why do we need a 2-handed crossbow and a dual wield crossbow? It's
maybe it's good to have if combat ever changes. I don't know. And
but then you introduce it if combat changes.
Yeah, and see, the thing is, I just want to make it clear that I think everybody on this panel wants the Fletching Re-tier, and we think it's a good update.
Oh yes, definitely, yeah, definitely.
But it is good that this goes into the current what words? Oh my god! It is good that this goes into the current version of the game. It is a net positive, but like, there are a lot of like you got to squint and look at this and go, why is that way? Why are we doing this?
Yeah.
What are the like?
And I'd like to just posit that this is something that we see throughout the rest of the mid-game rebalance. If I can move on to agility, is everybody good to move on to agility?
I would just like to say on the part of the current philosophy of RuneScape 3 skilling is that everything is neat and orderly and segmented into tiers, right? Wood is every 10 levels in the same way that mining is every 10 levels now, right? And does that provide some benefit? Yes. But it is wrangling a system that was not built in any way, shape, or form for this and trying to impose these systems on it, right? We made mahogany level 60 wood because it was about that, and we weren't considering fletching at all, and we were retiering for planks because we had just done the fort, right? Mm-hmm. But now the ramifications of that is that we don't have a tier 60 bow. And that's not the end of the world because we have a tier 60 crossbow. That's fine. But none of this was supposed to be this way.
They're shoehorning it.
Yeah, I have heard RuneScape as a game where like you had some developers in the Gowers, right, who are basically throwing spaghetti at the wall. Yeah. And not only did some of the spaghetti stick, some of that spaghetti became sacred. And now we're trying to make these
sacred spaghetti.
That's make these weird horrid things. Way of describing some stuff in this game.
But now we're trying to wrangle reason onto just random happenstance, right? There is no reason. It is maple logs being at 40 instead of 45, is that better or worse? Like, it doesn't really matter. But the entire game was built around maple logs being at level 45. Yeah. And when you change, when you move that, things, there are knock-on effects that necessarily can't be handled at the same time, because if you handle the ramifications of the maple logs being changed from 45 to 40, then you also have to deal with changes to fletching and to fire making and to construction. And then you're also looking at combat changes, and then you're looking at drop table changes, and it just never ends, right?
And this on it being unable to reconcile this, I think, is part of for me what has created a more elegant mid-game on OSRS, kind of the same way you see that.
Yeah, nobody complains in OSRS that you need 75, 85, whatever it is, fletching to make a magic short bow. And magic shortbow is a hell of a lot better weapon in that game than it is in this game.
Yeah. Okay, can we move on to agility? Everyone good?
Yes.
Okay. And this is why I said, this should be called the mid-game, buff update. Because some of these agility courses got like doubling of XP here, almost, in some cases, or at least 50% plus.
And again, it's... I mean, it's, again, a decent fix, but it's not a real fix to the skill.
But you know what this is fixing, Pern? This is fixing everybody running around with Silverhogs, providing less time to go into agility.
I don't think that it is. I don't think that it actually fixes that.
No, it tries to, but...
Because now you get rid of the Silverhawks, we still have our penguins. Right? Like, you need to fix the penguin situation. Because now, again, if I make a new account, I'm not training agility. Do you think I'm running laps on the Hetz Oasis agility course? No. I'm going to do penguins.
I ran Hetz Oasis, thank you. Then I ran Heffen. But again, it's addressing issues and making each level relevant. Because, I mean... Did anyone do the Bandos course?
I mean,
did anyone do Werewolf?
Not in a long time.
Other than the once when you had to do it for the achievements,
I think
you don't go back there.
Once upon a time, that was relevant. Either once upon it was relevant XP, or I was just dumb because I was a child. Because I did that course.
I mean, to be fair, Pern, I looked at this table and I thought, why would anyone do Bandos? Even after these changes.
Well, it's not a fun course to do. I will say that.
It's not a fun course. But also the XP. Like, why would you do it?
Why would you stick to Wilderness at 51 when you can be getting 60? When you got the choice between the Werewolf and Bandos. Hetz then jumps in at 65. I mean, before Anachronia Advanced, why do Anachronia Advanced at 51k when you're getting 70k at Hetz Oasis.
Yeah.
Hetz Oasis, I think, really brought in the issue of the courses and the XP that you got. And
Hetz Oasis was an early attempt to solve this problem.
Yes. And now they've balanced them all out, which is a great thing. I love that they've balanced it all out, but it hasn't done anything for the actual skill.
Right.
And that's what we need. We need to make the skill relevant. We need to make the skill more than just running circles.
Perhaps that comes with 120 agility.
Well, perhaps maybe we start seeing some better shortcuts done through Anachronia with our agility. At each level we can sort of cut off and cut through. That's
this brings up another point from OSRS. And when we were doing that show, I made a joke that agility would be my first 99 there because of just how useful the damn skill was with all of its shortcuts. And, given what we have on RS3 here, I don't think anybody's racing to get 99 agility specifically for a shortcut here or there on this. And maybe, that is the true value that you provide along the way by adding a suite of shortcuts on this.
That's right.
But
I'm with the 99 agility because I want a max cape. That's the only reason I will get agility up.
Yeah. Much of the same as the fletching changes, like, This is a positive change.
But it's a symptom of a bigger problem.
I'm not going to say that agility doesn't need higher rates because maybe I would say that on some days. I'm not going to say that today. Agility needs higher rates. But fundamentally, agility is a painful experience, and it shouldn't be a painful experience to the degree that it is. I'm not saying that it has to be the most fun and enjoyable skill to train. I think there is value in having skills that are
hard,
difficult to train because of how tedious they are.
Yeah.
But agility needs work, and it like you were saying, it needs a purpose.
They're useful. Exactly.
It needs a purpose, and quite frankly, shortcuts are great. Like, shortcuts should be made better, and there should be more of them, and they should be leveled appropriate. Have relevant level requirements. But like, shortcuts are not the reason that anybody's going to train agility. It's just a nice to have if you happen to have it.
Yeah.
My basic thing was agility to 70 for the Taverley short pipe shortcut, and that was all I needed.
Yeah, you don't even need to worry about it anymore because you just do thieving, and then you can get your dragon bones from the rogue's chest in the wilderness, and like, that's your agility. That's your prayer solve now.
Yeah.
But
it used to be that your prayer solve was wilderness flash events, but we're not gonna kick that dead horse.
But things like barbarian outpost, again, you had to get your agility top and legs and things. That was the only reason you ran that course. It's gone up 166%.
I mean, it still might be the only reason you do that course because it's not. Well, it's not better.
It's not a fun course, but
it's not better than Anachronia. Anachronia is a lot more enjoyable. To your point, Pern.
Anachronia, you don't need to click as much.
I did the 250 laps for the agility, for the agile top for the diary a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah,
and the thing that I despise about old agility courses is that there are certain obstacles that when you click on them, you walk over to them.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
Like, I am the person who will advocate for like adding ways to integrate skill expression into skilling to like speed up the thing that you're doing. But like knowing to click on the tile in front of the one specific obstacle and then click on the obstacle is not the way that you do that. That's not good.
No, I will agree. Yeah, no, that's true. I sort of forgot about that part of it. But yeah.
But if there's one of those on the Wildy courses, I just
no, and again,
and you're right, and that's the type of thing they need to be addressing.
The thing that I came into this post expecting is we remember how controversial some of the aspects, mainly around thieving, but some of the other things in the early game rebalance were. And I don't think there's anything controversial in this post at all, unless you look at the broader context of what the mid-game is.
Yeah.
So
I think the only controversy seems to be that they're not doing more, and I don't think that's. I reject that as a source of controversy.
Yeah.
Don't allow perfect to be the enemy of good.
Agree.
I mean,
in some
in
instances,
all honesty,
you do need to do that, but yeah, in all instances,
heffing on half an hour, because you can just line it up. You can pick up your mouse so it doesn't move. You can line it up and just go click, click,
get a foot pedal,
click. Yep, that's how I trained from '92.
Yeah,
it was just half an hour, bang, 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 and again, it was the only reason for training it was for a max cape.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to Divination then, because this one surprised me. Divination.
I was not expecting this.
Question mark.
Divination is just confusing. It's just confusing to me.
Like Divination in general, or these changes specifically?
Yes, both.
Okay.
Divination is just like such a bizarre skill.
Air fishing.
Also, like, Mod Ryan made a comment. This was a couple months ago at this point, but like one of the problems with Divination compared to like archaeology is just like the coat of paint that's on it. Like archaeology has got a really good coat of paint, and that's why we love it so much.
Right. Divination is just really. I mean, I think I described it once as basically like if you opened Microsoft Word and Clippy said, "Hey, I see you're trying to design a skill," you would get Divination.
Yeah, it's not good. These changes are really baffling to me. So
they're buffing success chance.
They're buffing success chance, but they're buffing it in a way that decreases as you level up. They don't.
Yeah.
Like each specific tier of Wisp has a certain success chance increase that they're giving, but that is the highest right when you unlock it, and then it decreases as you level up. So that I guess the desire there is to not create a situation where the best XP rate isn't to move on to the next rift, which is like, okay, but if you try to explain to somebody why there's a decaying success chance, it's just so confusing. It's so weird and confusing. And I think in the same way that we said that the issues with agility are that yes, it is slow, but also like there are fundamental issues with the way that the skill is designed. That is also true for Divination. But whereas like arguably agility now has like reasonable XP rates, reasonable people will disagree on that, but
I think another one of the things
the XP rates for Divination really haven't changed that much.
No, and I was going to say on that, one of the things that's the biggest modifiers to Divination XP rates is whether or not you have the relic, which is, really high level when you consider relics, and or the memory dowser.
Yep.
Yeah. Or the vacuum.
Really, they need to make like a fundamental change to how Divination is changed without any of these modifying items or boosts, and this ain't it.
No, and I mean, with this, it's also not immediately clear what this does for XP rates.
I didn't think Divination really needed anything anyway. XP rates are always pretty fine. I mean, you've got a use for the each of the
energies.
Energies at the levels that you're at. And it's like once you get up to 99, you're only going to be looking at the top two anyway. So anyway,
I mean, I'm kind of with you on that. Like Divination is boring, but it seems basically functional.
Yeah, it does what it needs to do. It's a reasonable XP rate. I mean, I don't want to increase XP rates just for the sake. I did. I didn't mind Divination. It's air fishing to me. It's just that nice, easy, laid back, and it's got a function. So,
And this leads me to ask the question again from when the episode a number of weeks ago when we first learned the mid-game rebalance is coming. Is the purpose of the mid-game to get you to the end game, or is it to be, a breadthful experience throughout? And, I don't even know how divination fits into that equation, because divination as a skill just has you do one thing at one colony, then move on, and so on and so forth, to the point it becomes a maintenance skill really for invention. So
exactly.
Well, yeah.
There's not much benefit to training it until you get to the point of unlocking invention, because you can make porters, but also they're a pain in the ass. Like the early level porters are so bad.
Yeah.
And
but there's
we got rid of the divine locations, which were actually the main early game use of divination in a lot of ways.
Did they get rid of those?
Yeah. They got rid of that with the daily scape changes.
I did not know that.
Yeah,
I was going to say, what about, you just make your divine herb patch every day, and that was
bye.
All gone.
I did not. Wow.
Part of the problem for me with divination is that
sorry.
The optimal way to train it is not intuitive, and it feels like you're kind of breaking things in a way that is not. You would have to go out of your way to read a guide to understand how you actually are supposed to train divination, which is right now it's doing your engrams, and then after a certain point when that XP drops off, it's then you go and do div dunge, which is it's a great emergent method, but it's non-intuitive.
Yeah.
Especially when you consider that in order to get really good XP rates from div dunge, you want to be two-ticking and /or have multiple people doing it with you, because the amount of time on the spring increases with the number of players on it.
Folks, I think we have just
it's good that there is there is depth
here
in that, but it's none of it is tutorialized anywhere. It's information. None of it is tutorialized anywhere. The engrams are literally in the tutorial, but you need to go and consult external information to be able to find that. Find the locations of them.
Well, we'll see what this does to the XP rates when that lands, but I mean, it's just a weird mix of issues at the end of the day. There are some other changes that they're bringing in too, including making it so that kill counts no longer deplete when you leave the God Wars Dungeon 1. They'll work similar to God Wars Dungeon 2.
Best.
This is actually a good solid mid-game change.
Yeah. This is a great change. Except that I was going for all those Omni Soul Stones. I've got 3 of them. Now they're pointless.
Now they're being removed.
And they're going to be removed. So all that time was wasted.
What's the point of hard mode now?
Pet hunting and combat achievements.
Okay.
Yeah.
Combat achievements.
Which I think is fine.
Yeah.
I think that's fine.
And XP?
Well, of course.
Insofar as you do bossing for XP. Or that bossing for XP.
I was going to say, yeah.
But no, this is really good. I don't know that I would have argued that they should remove kill count entirely, but I wouldn't have been upset if they did. But kill count was a really punishing maybe nowadays it doesn't take that long, but if you're trying to do God Wars when you're supposed to be doing God Wars, when it's relevant for gear upgrades and stuff, it's you're getting 2, 3, 4 kill trips, and having to get kill count every time, it's just it's a massive buzzkill. It makes it very unpleasant.
They're also reducing the amount of reputation you need for God Wars 2, which I think is
Why
good.
did they not just get rid of the reputation entirely? What was they saying about Zaya? They understood that this was a bad mechanic and they got rid of it.
Just going back to I mean, I like that there's still a kill count there, because it still makes getting that the medium combat tasks relevant, where you don't need anything. So, but it's so fantastic that they made it like God Wars 2, where you just got to. I can go and I'm just going to go and kill 200 of these one day. I can walk away, and then when I feel like going to do it, bang, I can just walk straight in. And that's or if something happens and you happen to die, you don't have to go and get another 40 kill count to get back in there and things like that.
Well, that's a big one for next too.
One of the interesting, not so much for next, but for the other generals, one of the interesting sort of emergent qualities of this that someone pointed out in the RSBANDB Discord is that at a certain point, and it's not actually that high of a level, kill count basically becomes self-fulfilling.
Yes.
Because
as long as you can do more than 10 kills a trip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So kill count basically becomes irrelevant quite quickly, which I don't know if I like that for exactly the reason you said, Pern. It does kind of negate the purpose of the unlock.
Medium.
But to be fair, we managed to do Elder God Wars Dungeon without any kill count as all, and that's fine.
Oh, exactly. I mean, in the grand scheme of compliance, also reduces the amount of God Wars 2 kill count you need.
Yes, it does. It does. It's a 50% reduction.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's not irrelevant, and in on the scale of complaints, it's a minor complaint, but
yeah. The biggest thing that fits into the nerf category in
demonic
this post
skull
is the demonic skull going away in the wilderness.
PKers in shambles, all 6 of them that are left.
Yeah, so it seems like the wilderness course is kind of dead now, where it used to be very good to stay at the wilderness course. You stay at it until like the Heaven course, maybe even the full Anachronia course. As far as I understand, the XP doesn't scale anymore.
Like this is really the second to last bit of PvP in the wilderness that exists in this game, isn't it?
Well, yeah, I mean the last 2 bits of PK was the agility course and Abyss.
Yeah,
the Abyss Mage.
Oh, when you go to the shop out there where you have to skull yourself.
Bandit camp. Okay. Yeah. All right.
Does anyone really do that?
That's where you get an extra stock of broad bolts. Broad arrowheads, rather.
So,
you don't need that anymore because you've got your fletching rework. You don't need to worry about.
What does this mean for rune crafting?
It doesn't. The skull's already been decoupled from rune crafting.
Oh right,
yeah, they did that months ago. Yeah, with the update.
Yeah, so this is a nerf for agility. It's a nerf for hunter. Technically, it's a nerf for Slayer, but I don't know anybody who's doing Slayer with a demonic skull anyway.
Zerdones, is that
never
you?
Did it.
No.
I mean, like, if you're doing Slayer with a demonic skull, you're going to get less XP anyway, because you're not going to be bringing good gear. This is a necessary change, right? So I have a friend who's recently, she started playing after leagues, and she recently started playing again after a few months break. She's like 1,700 total, give or take. Working on training agility to 70, among other skills, to go to God Wars for the necromancy gear upgrades.
Lovely.
He had a lovely, like, I don't know. She spent her cash stack on a demonic skull. Had a lovely, I don't know, like 4 or 5 hours at the Wildy course.
Ouch.
And then I get a Discord message saying
killed.
that somebody had killed her, and I'm like, that's the way the cookie crumbles. She's very happy the skull is going away.
I only had the skull for my rune crafting runs. That's the only time I ever used it.
Same. Yeah. Okay. Dive is being removed from Succession, and it's just going to be a level 30 agility unlock.
Good. It's the way it should be. There's no reason for it. The reason that it was put on Succession was the content that they were releasing at the time.
Yeah.
Which is not a good reason for why it should come from Succession.
Yes. No, lock everything behind quests.
I mean, I don't disagree with you. You should be locking things behind quests. I don't think it would be a bad thing if it was locked behind like a low level quest. I mean, which one it would be is kind of arbitrary in the same way that it's very arbitrary that devotion. Well, I guess devotion from One Piercing Note, there's some thematic stuff there, but it is ultimately arbitrary. But
I don't think abilities as such should be locked behind anything. I think they should just be level unlocks.
Yeah, but 30 agility unlock for this is great.
Yep.
Red and Crystal Sandstone will be having their hit points reduced by 50
too slow
because people felt it too slow. Fine.
Thank Christ. Yes. That's a good one because I hate that.
The Elite Desert achievement and the Melior Crystal Sandstone will be reduced by a further 50.
I really love that.
With the removal of the Traveling Merchant, we know that obtaining Harmonic Dust can feel a bit more grindy, so the following change is being made. Just a straight-up increase by 20% the amount of dust you get.
Still not enough.
Yeah,
it's not
still
enough.
Feels low.
They need to buff the dust yield, and they also need to buff the XP on this. It's just not competitive anymore.
No.
If you have the level to do
tuning mechanic.
Yeah, if you've got the level to be doing this, you can be doing gate crafting for more XP and it's more AFK.
Well, also remember the time investment in this too, because this came up in leagues that, are you really going to spend that much time in a league getting all the dust to upgrade a piece of
equipment?
This doesn't change that. This doesn't change that.
4K dust on one item, and and that's it. 20% dust increase is not a great thing. XP is useless, and that tuning mechanic, they need to really rework that. It just you can click every 3 seconds. Sometimes you have to click. It's just very frustrating.
They could get rid of that entirely. It would be fine. But the thing as well is you need to either be on Ithel hour to get the the reduced amount of tuningness that you need to do.
Yeah, tune loss.
Or you need to have the Artificer's Measure, which is like a 100 level 99 crafting requirement and 101 archaeology and a couple other things.
What does that do for it?
It gives you the Ithel buff. Regardless of whether or not the Force of Saren is active there.
Yeah.
I did not know that. I always did it on the hour.
But you need to be 99 crafting and high level archaeology. The archaeology requirement is boostable, I think, but you still need to be pretty high.
Yeah. But you can't boost archaeology.
You've probably already done it all before. It's
this should be made, the harp should be made into an active mid-game crafting method where if you hit them on the right note, you get something absurd like a 200 or 500% increase in the amount of dust that you do.
I mean, basically turn them into Serenity posts for crafting.
Mate, I was going to say,
complain.
Or make it a circuit, the one that's highlighted. You play that one, and you're getting 100% buff.
Yeah, there are certainly ways that they could improve this, and they should do
between all four. But I think 20% is not good enough on that one.
20% of 0 is still 0.
Zerdone's instance costs are finally being removed. You were wondering about this a couple weeks ago.
Yes, they only promised us that back in January.
Yeah.
I did not know they were still doing that. I suppose because I only do one boss a day anyway, and I get the free one. So
the GIM, I think the GIM costs are entirely free anyway. I believe.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay, that's why I'm getting none.
Yeah. I've been putting off going back to Nex because, yes, I can afford 600k hours, but I just don't wanna.
Jesus. Right? Is that what it was for Nex? 600k?
Yeah.
600k.
Holy crap!
And I think AOD was something absurd like 1.1 mil?
Yeah, 600k is after you get the reduction from death. It's 800k base.
Holy Jesus.
AOD is free. AOD is free.
Okay.
Needless to say, these things didn't. They may have made. I don't know that they really made sense at the time, but they might have made sense at the time. But the time of making sense is long departed.
They intuitively made sense in an era when you didn't have a lot of gold sinks. But now that we have the GE tax, which is basically an all singing, all dancing, adjustable gold sink, I don't see the need for really most gold sinks in the game.
Yeah, and also like functionally, Neck's armor was more or less your best in slot. It's like other than that, you had the degrade to dust stuff with rots.
Right.
Whereas now Neck's armor goes into masterwork.
Yeah, but now
the only
it's
gold
like,
sync should be your.
Now it's very mid tier.
It's mid tier if you're using it as armor itself, and it's used then later as reagents. So,
and finally,
the only gold sync should be your stars.
Finally, Jad Pet is now going on to Jad itself rather than being purchased with Zeal or Thaler.
That makes more sense.
Yeah.
Kill Jad to get his pet.
Although if you don't want to do that, stock up on Thaler, because they did confirm that if you have the pet, it will carry over.
Well, that's good.
Yeah, well, I would hope so.
Well, yeah.
The gem bag upgraded to 100 is a good one as well.
Yeah, and this basically makes it function like the OS gem bag, which is interesting. It'll be able to carry 100 of each gem, and Jade, Opal, and Topaz gems are now, of course, storable in both gem bag versions.
Yeah, that's nice. It's a 60 for each gem currently.
Yes. Which is annoying.
Overall, there's nothing really to complain about in those other changes.
No.
Drop rates? We get into a whole other can of worms. I think the Dragon Pickaxe ones is a good move here.
Yep.
That's the best one.
Am I crazy, or does this still seem way too high for what it is?
No. I think it's good. Because it keeps it relevant. The Chaos Dwarves is probably still a bit high, but the Chaos Giants, where it was 1 in 10,000 to 1 in 1,000, I think is a good move.
Yeah, Chaos Giants I think is fine. Chaos Dwarf, I guess, is the one I think is still maybe too high.
I wasn't really looking at that one because I don't really do those. Chaos Giants.
You have to cannon these. Basically, you have to cannon these, otherwise, it's abysmal. But if you are, so the KPH is going to include some of the Black Guard, so this is going to be overstated, but it's 2,400 kills an hour. So, and it doesn't take like that good of a setup to be able to one hit these things, because they have
so when you look at that, then you're looking at maybe 3 or 4 hours before you get to the point where you should be almost guaranteed to have
I would say you're probably like 2 to 3 hours now instead of
let's be careful. Let's not say guaranteed, because there's no bad luck mitigation.
Correct.
I'm just go 10,000 kills. Yeah, sorry, go ahead, Burn.
I got 2 dragon pickaxes on the GIM within 4 hours.
Yeah, I mean, I went and I did this not long ago, and I got super lucky, and I got 2 of them, I think, within 2 hours.
Yeah.
Why did you need a dragon pickaxe, Sir Dones? Can't you just go and buy that?
I can, but what I was doing is I wanted to go and get a second pickaxe of life and death to go in my tool belt, and I wanted to get the drop for the Slayer
Functionally the same as a primal +5 on the tool.
It is, but I wanted it.
Yeah, I got the primal on my belt, and the other one I carry.
Okay.
Yes, it's the same, but I still wanted it, and I wanted to take it off the Slayer log, so I figured, what the hell?
Yeah,
and then I just stayed.
Speaking of Slayer,
what else am I going to do with my time?
The Sanguine Crawlers that we talked about, they're buffing the drop rate to 1 in 200 when on a task and 1 in 1,000 when not.
What's the drop rate currently?
It was something absurd. I can
1 in 512, I think, and then 1 in 5,000.
That's silly.
Ridiculous.
And the point was,
level.
if you unlocked the Slayer level to kill these and killed nothing but them, there was a real chance that you would not even see this by the time you were over leveled for the area.
Yeah. I camped these for a while because can't remember why. I was hunting the Sanguine Matter, and I actually got the pet before I got the gloves. I still don't have the gloves.
Me too.
I have to say, this, objectively, this is a good adjustment, right? The everybody agreed the gloves were too rare, and both on and off task they are a lot more common. But who's killing these on task? You have to get them from Vanek or Amaskna, and it's who
exactly
who's using those?
who's doing those Slayer masters? Nobody. You go. The only people I know doing low level Slayer instead of like doing
Spria.
Reaper task shenanigans instead, they're using the Raptor. It's like,
Yeah.
so basically it's a 1 in 1,000, which is still too rare.
Yeah.
I mean, like, quite frankly, I think you could just like
They die quick though.
Make these like
They do die quick,
non-tradable and common as all hell.
Yeah, that might have been the better way, given what they wanted to do with this item. But you know,
it's like they're not going to be worth anything because think of all the mains who are getting their gloves because they need to for ultimate trim or whatever.
So
or
it's like, do you want
ultimate slayer?
Ultimate Slayer.
So it's like, do we want items then that are rare and fun to get in terms of money, or do you want items that spread the fun toys all around early on? That's the discussion that was made here, and they erred here in the idea of putting it so that it becomes more common.
Apparently, these are 12 mil.
Yep,
that's not appropriate.
I don't believe that. I don't believe that is a genuine number.
The GE graph is just a straight up. Well, it drops down and then it's a straight up.
Okay.
I guess it drops down because everybody got their trim back, or their ultimate slayer back, and then it's back on the up again.
I guess at this point they're that anyway.
Well, they're rare.
Why do these have a repair curve? Oh my, they're tier 10 gloves.
For the next ones, we go to Zertone's favorite
mid-level
boss, Corporeal Beast.
Yeah, these next two, I'm absolutely in shambles. I am absolutely miserable.
Sigil drop rates are being doubled, and all sigil types now have an equal chance of dropping.
I mean,
all you children who are hunting spiritual shields and barrow stuff now.
How long were you at Corp for this?
I was at Corp a long time. I was over 6,000 kills, 6,600 kills.
That's not even that bad.
No, it's not even that bad. It's not even that bad.
I know two people who are more than double that.
I mean, expectation with current drop rates is still under 5,000.
Yeah.
4,800, which is still crazy. But
this is objectively a good change. Those sigils were too rare.
They were too rare, and the drop rate was just bizarre.
But also, like, why does it, like, this doesn't matter? Like, it matters in terms of, like, how long do I need to grind this for log? Which, like, yeah, I guess that matters. But, like, these are not part of progression in any way, shape, or form. This doesn't matter.
Yeah.
They were a thing when shields used to be a thing, and now they're, yeah.
It's good for consistency. I was never It never made sense to me why the sigil drop rates were the way they are.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, it's relics from a previous time.
Yeah.
And
finally,
even in the context of the previous time, though, like the fact that one sigil is just 30% more common or less common, or whichever one it is.
Well, because they made the garbage one more common, and then
Anyway.
And finally, Linza's drop rates are doubled.
Again, I am in shambles.
Well, she's the hardest one to fight, and the thing that pissed me off the most is I did a video series of how long it would take to get all the drop rates, all the drops from barrows, and I mean, I think it had been 16 or 17 episodes, so it was close on 100 hours. I think I put in down there to get everything, and then I finished it, and then about 4 months later, they decided to make these drop logs, but it doesn't include it if you've already done it, so I have to go do them all again.
Yeah,
yay!
The things we do for content. Including our beloved summer beach sans dungeoneering.
Oh yeah!
Oh, segue.
Yes.
That's a thing that exists. I forgot all about that.
Yes.
Okay.
It is an update of all time.
Let's be real.
I forgot all about it because I never went there.
Let's be real here. The only point to go.
It's a condensed beach. It's the same as a beach. They removed Shane's favorite part for going there, the dungeoneering hole.
Everyone's favorite part.
Yeah. The only reason anyone went to the beach.
I think the reason you go to the beach now is if you're just focused around grinding some sandy sands.
No.
But even that, I mean, you get that in normal gameplay. You go to the beach, you fight Claudia every hour, you will get a 1k drop of sand. There's only 2 new items this year, which is 7k worth of sand.
Yeah, 7.5 something, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
Anything you didn't get from last year or previous years.
Well, from previous years if you need them. Now, there was 2 items, because I've had it every year. So they brought back 2 items from, I think it was 2015 or 16 that hadn't been there before, which I realized I had to get those as well. But again, I think there was 750 and a 500. So it was basically just shoot to the beach at 44 minutes past the hour every hour, kill Claudia and go back to what you were doing, and then you're still earning sand doing what you're doing. So
I mean,
it wasn't too bad.
You say go to Claudia on the hour. I got to be honest. I have been to the beach twice, both times to check the shop. I stayed there for 5 minutes in total. Yep. I have 10,000 sand.
Yeah,
and that comes.
But you
from
would have also
world.
been. Yeah, I was going to say that would have been training on the main world. So yeah, that's if. I mean, if you just. But
there's also
the
Claudia
quickly,
pet, which I got in the game at 4KC.
Yeah, there's a Claudia pet.
Yeah, well, I got that.
It has a very high drop rate.
Nobody will use.
Yeah, it was last year. I think it took me 8 or 9 kills last year to get the Claudia pet.
Yeah. The only reason to go here is for the cosmetics.
Yep. And again, you're
and
earning sand out in the real world.
Free construction training, but
here's the
I
deal:
it's about 20k an hour.
Yeah, it's about 20k an hour. So it's
not
to
train construction. Just build your fort.
It's better than
you built your fort. You don't need to train construction.
The only benefit to it is just that it's free.
Free, yeah.
So yay.
It's not.
But again, no, for the time it takes for the XP you're getting. Just go and buy some logs or
Should
whatever.
this update have had the investment that Spring, Halloween, and Christmas had?
No.
To have the quest associated with it.
I would say
they've even taken away the sandy clues. I mean, I last year I did it for the sandy clues. My GIM has not gone there this year because I'm not worried about cosmetics on the GIM. I do it on the main. That's why I jumped on Pern. I was just jumping on every sort of hour. I think I jumped on the construction thing in between hand just to cut down on time. But yeah, I mean, I think I had everything unlocked within 3 or 4 hours.
My opinion is this update should have taken one of 2 forms. Form number 1 is, yes, it should have had the investment gone in. It should have been like a full summer event with a quest and with like more interesting things to do. Yep. Option number 2 is it just shouldn't have happened.
I like option number 2.
I would have said option, yeah, exactly.
I would have been happy with either of those 2 options.
The XP rates you're getting
the
there
point
now
of this
makes it
who is this
worthless.
For? Right.
Yeah.
And I want to say
who is the audience?
That I was looking forward to this, but I'm kind of in your option 2 camp, Zerdones, because if you look at it, it's the exact same map minus the hole that was at the Lumbridge Crater. It's the exact same thing, just pasted out into an open set of
Cut
water.
And paste. Yep. And I'm thinking that when they binned it last year, I think they binned the entire thing and thought we'll just do this. We'll just do a copy paste on its own little on its own little platform and go from there. I really don't see it returning next year. I don't see the point of it. The XP rates are atrocious. There's not even a bank chest there.
There is.
They added one in.
They did hotfix one. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't been there since.
I
didn't. Yeah, I haven't been there since sort of it came out day one. So that's decent. But again, the XP rates. I mean, I know they said, but because you can only do it with your ice creams. That's why we had to do it, because you could only do it 3 times last year. But I mean, let's be honest, they'd have the weekends where you didn't need that and everyone was there anyway. They could have kept the XP rates the same to make it usable for lower levels. Gims can't do it anyway. We get no XP down there. It's not like it's going to affect anyone.
Can I posit a hypothetical question here?
Mm-hmm.
If we're just gonna bypass the early levels by having people do holiday events, what's the point of fixing the early levels?
I mean, there's a broader conversation to have there about the purpose of diversion and the value of diversion.
Sure.
And like that's the thing this always comes down to, is things like the holiday events, things like penguins, things like the dailies. They get put into the game because they're intended to be just a fun thing that you can go and do instead of grinding. Go take a break from grinding, go and hunt some penguins. It's a silly little thing you can do. And like, I love that. I'm very happy for things like that, because I do get very bored grinding the same stuff for hours. That does not.
But it's also active.
That doesn't make me particularly moist. Does not please me.
They also missed a huge opportunity here with the new avatar model to sell us, summer skimpy clothing.
Oh God!
They'd have to bump the Peggy rating if they did that.
But again, it's with things like penguins and such. That's active play. You're running around. You're hunting for them. These, I mean, you click on it, you walk away. You click on it. It's like,
yeah, I mean, you can talk about the balance and whatever. I mean, I think for the social events in particular, the benefit for them was more about having everyone gathered together in one place. It was an enforced social environment.
Yeah, and on that social point, our home world 66 has been dead. To feel like I'm a part of something when Claudia comes up, I've been going to the busier worlds to handle that. So, I mean, unless you're on one of the main hub worlds, the beach isn't really happening.
Yeah, I mean, whatever arguments you can make about the relative merits of the dungeoneering hole, and I'm sure there's a whole conversation we could have, it was definitely an experience. There was a social experience to going to the dungeon hole, and there is value in that. There is value there. I think the problem with these diversions...
Wait, Zerdones, are you saying that our Dungeoneering remaster, and because of that Dungeoneering remaster, there's no Dungeoneering hole? That if there was a Dungeoneering hole, there would be more people at the beach, so as a result of that, they should have kept the hole? Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm not. Well, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that. I'm saying that there is a reason it existed. And if you're going... And I guess it comes down to what I think Lemon said earlier about, or maybe it was Pern. Sorry, it was what Pern said earlier. You make a choice between prioritizing your skilling community or your PVM community. You make a similar trade-off here. You make the trade-off of, we're going to value one kind of play versus another kind of play.
Yeah.
And even the agility lapse thing there, I mean, that used to be, you weren't getting great agility XP. I mean, you put on your Silver Hawks and just do that, and that was, reasonable XP there. I mean, even now, I mean, I think someone was saying it was 7K an hour for agility.
That sounds probably about right.
Yeah, and I mean,
which ironically puts it in the top 40 percentile of agility training methods.
I mean, that's only about half as worse as the Heffen Post is right now.
Hey,
there's like 20K or something just for.
That's if you're following the right pose. If you're not, it goes down to 15.
Oh. The things people will do.
I feel like we've had another reckoning this week on this episode by way of the beach and the mid-game update. And we should just focus on the happy things.
Oh, yeah. I mean, hey,
I think that's usually a good strategy for life.
the beach is still. I mean, it's there. There's some. If you like your cosmetics, it's great. Go there. You can have it. I mean, okay, you're not getting great XP, but you can have a. It's like bank standing. You can have a chat with your mates. You're getting some minimal XP, and you're unlocking things to those cosmetics that you want. But I do love that they have put the sand out into the real world, because that was into the main world, because the XP rates is just not worth sitting there for a few cosmetics.
I mean, for people watching on video,
decision.
Is this not the life of RuneScape right here in this screenshot they have?
No. It's not the RuneScape I play.
But yeah, again, once you've done your unlocks and things, get out of there. Just stick to regular gameplay, as Zidane said. I mean, you got 20k just playing, 10k sand just playing regularly with one Claudia.
I'm going to go check how much sand I got from my Eternal Magic shopping yesterday. I'm going to do that.
It's going to be a lot.
Right now.
I'm pretty sure.
Because I haven't done any on my main, so we'll see exactly where that is at, and then start wrapping up from there. But, I mean...
I don't know if it's a daily cap or a total cap, but I know that I hit a 30k sand cap.
Yeah, there's a total cap on how much you can have in your pouch.
That's a total cap.
That,
it's
and
a currency.
Every now and then that I've hit that, and I just ignore it.
Just go and buy your stuff and keep going.
Nope. Not worth it.
You don't like cosmetics?
See, the thing is, even if you do that...
It's a direct teleport! It takes you 30 seconds!
The thing is...
that reminds me. Can you break out your smallest violins for me for just a moment?
I only have 3,400 sound on the main.
They added in the Event Hub teleport, which then shifted all of my other teleports, which meant that my muscle memory has been off for where my teleports are while I've been doing clues this week, which has slowed down the rate at which I do clues by like 0.3%.
Literally unplayable. Cannons out. Riot in 66.
Just go back to the good old days of Treasure Hunter, Solomon's General Store, and seasonal events designed to draw players in. Ain't that right, folks?
Just put your teleports on your action bar and keybind them, and you'll be fine.
I will say this about holiday events. If we just had like the Christmas event, I think the Christmas event is the best one, personally.
Yes, yeah. I think that's not a
I do enjoy the Easter.
If we just had the Christmas event, I would be much happier than having all of these other ones throughout the year as well, because they're all just worse. Like, I don't know.
I like it when they come with a little quest and things like that to run through. Just a little fun, I mean, I don't mind the Easter event, but again, it's not something I live or die for. If it's gone, it's gone. But Christmas is always that special one that you always.
It's nice at Christmas.
You're feeling,
to take a little break and be like, I'm just gonna hang out and chat to a couple people while I'm passing through.
Yeah, that's it.
All right.
I do feel like the summer event is kind of the odd duck, where it just like, of all the holiday events, why this one?
Yes.
Yeah. And, that's so interesting, because there's always this conversation that Earth and I have about Star Trek Online, about which one is better between Stowe's summer event and Stowe's Christmas event. He thinks the summer event, I think the winter event, but you can make a really good argument in that case for that game that the summer event is actually the flagship event of the year. And it makes me wonder, if we were still doing these things to try and get people to log in each and every day, what would Eventscape look like in 2026? But they're not anymore. They've moved.
I mean, wasn't that
practice?
Wasn't it like 2019, 2020? Isn't that the model we're looking at?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah. So when it was like bi-weekly login type event stuff, but
yeah.
Okay. We do have a few achievements this week. So starting off, Zerdones, you got 200 million Constitution XP the other day. I did. Congratulations.
Still on my Slayer trip. I'm almost at 120 melee, and then I'll be free.
Oh, thank God! Finally.
I'm like,
what are you doing for that? Wilderness
Slayer. I'm on. I think I'm over 230 tasks now.
You poor bastard.
Stacked caskets. I'm under 12 mil XP left.
I should be doing that. I need to get.
Are you stacking your caskets? Are you? I open them at the end of each one.
No, I'm stacking them.
Chimney Lax got 120 farming on July 8th. Juan Peru with 200 mil invention on July 7th. Imperialis got 120 thieving on July 3rd. Mel got 99 invention on the 3rd as well. And then continuing that, we have Terry Dax with 120 firemaking and Yahoo with 120 fletching.
Wow. We've got Snail Mage July 8th with an ice die. Woo! Fancy. I can say definitively that he has not used it yet, and I am waiting to hear what it gets used on. He has 2 now, and he hasn't used either of them, so time's a ticking. Imperialis Seifu, the attack pet at 33.4 mil XP on July 8th. Juan Peru, Malcolm at 200 mil XP on July 7th. It's always Malcolm at 200 mil XP.
It was the same disassemble that Juan Peru got 200 mil invention with, so it's not too bad.
Oh, that's nice. Yeah, that's better than going like 300 mil dry.
Yeah.
230 for me.
Imperialis, Wallace the defense pet at 17.8 mil on the 6th.
Nice.
And Imperialis again picked up Morty, the Constitution pet, at 76.7 mil on July 5th, the day before. Drizzly Lemon got a Shadow Die on July 5th. Imperialis again recomped on July 4th. And Lemon again also picked up a Third Age Druidic Robe Top on July 3rd. So continuing on with her clue hunts.
That was Elite Log too, wasn't it? Or Master Log?
I got this is on my GIM. I got the robe top at 925 case elites, give or
nice.
Take. And I didn't get I got the log at like 1575.
Oh god.
from a bronze dragon mask.
Oh god.
It was the last set it was literally the last set of like 20 caskets that I had to open. The last set of like 20 hard elite clues that I had.
And it was a bronze
painful.
That is painful.
It took me like 8,000 elites to get the elite log on my iron, and I did that earlier this year. And this one spooned it, absolutely spooned it.
RN Jesus.
RNG giveth, RNG taketh.
All right, Zerdones, what do you got
for take us to the pick of the week?
For your pick.
Yeah, I got a pick of the week. So this is a website, udm14.com. And basically what it does is it makes Google search not absolute shithouse. So I am a passionate viewers of the show will recall that I am very against all of this generative AI tomfoolery.
But he won't go as far as Ted Kaczynski.
Not yet, but I'm getting there. I am getting there.
Who's Ted?
The Unabomber.
Oh, okay.
I do like what they say
that.
underneath. The disenshitification Konami code.
Yes. Yeah. So maybe to explain that a little bit, enshitification is a word coined by author and blogger Cory Doctorow to basically describe how the world is getting worse and how corporations are, as part of the extractive financialization model that Lemon alluded to earlier with respect to RuneScape, they're adding crappy features and degrading quality of their products in order to try and build more money out of hapless rubes like, say, for example, us.
Woo.
So one example of that is Google with their AI search overviews. If you type something into Google, you will not get a website link first. You will get a box that has stolen someone else's hard work and present it to you in a way that is 70% likely to be wrong in some meaningful respect. So this website, UDM14, fixes all of that. The way it does that is with the UDM query parameter. So Google has all of these different modes. You can see, for those of us, anyone watching the video version, or if you open up a Google browser, if you're watching this on your PC, you can see when you enter in a search, you'll see underneath the search bar a list of, there'll just be a bunch of words. It'll be like there's images, there's video, whatever, all these different modes of search that Google has. The secret cool one is web mode. Web mode basically makes Google look like how Google used to look back in the good old days. So it removes the AI overviews. It removes the info box things, like all of that stuff. It just gives you straight links. The way that you can get that programmatically is by adding this ampersand UDM equals 14 to the URL. And so that's basically all this website does, is it takes your search query, plugs it into Google, adds the UDM equals 14, and hallelujah, Google is, I don't want to say good, because you still have the fact that Google has degraded their search algorithm, and years upon years of search engine optimization has made Google results less good than they used to be. But at the very least, you don't have all of the extraneous crap that Google has thrown onto it.
Yeah, and just for comparison's sake, I'm on the opposite end of Zerdones. I like having all the fun, new bleeding edge stuff thrust upon me, so I just use it kind of as is. But I do see the merit of cutting out things like the info box, the AI overviews and whatnot, because when they first started those AI overviews, that was the case where they were telling people who wanted to make pizza to add glue to their pizza.
Yeah, so the toppings.
In that case. But
oh my god,
I think one of the things that we
fall off your pizza
had to look at, in the past, is that Google's sole objective with search, going back to the good old days, was to be the main broker of information, to allow you to find what you wanted and to do so reliably, efficiently, and have it be right? So the question is, and I don't think anybody's proven this mathematically or technically, if you can, make an AI search do that. So Google has strayed.
No,
from
they have proven it mathematically. Generative AI will always lie.
So there's no way to effectively force it to be truthful.
The AI evangelists invented this funny little word. They call them hallucinations to try and make it sound less bullshit, but they are lies, and it is not possible to fix that.
Yeah,
it is
because that comes
impossible.
down to to the core nuts and bolts of how the models work.
Yeah, they're just text generation machines.
They're basically Markov generators on steroids.
Oh God, yeah. You can tell how much I think about this, right? And just where it all lands. And I still don't know. Like, do you find that this search with the forcing it to be traditional Google Web is actually helpful, or are we in a situation where we're going to need some other way to search on the internet eventually?
Well, I think it solves a problem, which is that if you don't want the AI overview box, then this just removes that. Like that is a problem that some people like me have, and this solves that problem. The problem this doesn't solve, and the problem this can't solve, is the fact that Google is just materially worse than it was 20 years ago.
Right.
And that's a function partly of Google itself, because their algorithm is proprietary and they tinker with it behind the scenes. It's also partly a function of brands have spent decades trying to treat their Google rank as a marketing objective and trying to game the algorithm to make their stuff float to the top. That is not a problem you can, if that's a problem you can fix, it's not a problem you can fix with Google. And I will say, I don't actually use this UDM 14 on my computer. I actually use DuckDuckGo's no AI mode. Where I do use this is on my phone, because my mobile browser doesn't allow me. It's very limited in how I can set my search engine, my default search engine. So I can't choose the DuckDuckGo no AI search engine on my phone, but I can do this because this broadcasts in a open format. If you click on, I think it's the 10 blue links link on the page, it'll explain exactly what it does for that and how it does that. But so that's how I use it. I use it for my phone. But yes, you are correct. There are more fundamental problems with search on the internet. And this doesn't solve those problems, but it does solve some
problems. It solves a portion of it.
And that's nice.
It solves a portion of it.
Would you say that this is the equivalent of the Fletching Re-tiering project? Thank you. I'll see myself out.
I would say that there is definitely similarities, and I think that there is a lot that we have to learn by studying the different approaches to this problem. But also, this is just infinitely better because this puts the screws to the AI industry. So I'm always very happy about that. They are all thieves, every one of them.
Not even like the sexy kind of thieves?
No, just the really grotty kind of thieves.
All right. UDM, not UTM, udm14.com. Thank you, Zerdones, for that pick of the week. Hopefully this podcast has been eye-opening to everybody out there, whether it be about the forthcoming roadmap, the mid-game, rebalance the beach, or even if you just want to, look at Google for parallels in terms of where things are landing today. But if you want to get these podcasts as they arrive each and every week, we'll be here next week for 120 construction in the POH. You can do that by heading on over to update.show/subscribe. We're on all the major listening services out there: Apple Podcasts, Pocket Casts, Spotify, and more. And of course, YouTube as well, youtube.com/RSBANDB. Give us a like and subscribe there. Helps the channel out. Conversation helps too. YouTube really likes that. So, but Lemon, always good having you on. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining in, especially on the mid-game stuff, because that's just a perspective I really wasn't thinking of this week. So thank you.
As you well know, I have a lot to say about stuff. Good.
We like that. And Pern, everybody's favorite Australian. Thank you for coming back.
First favorite again.
Yeah,
we're gonna have to find a new Aussie to dethrone you.
I mean, clearly the definition of Aussie can be a little flexible.
Yeah, get a New Zealander.
Hey, no. Well, hey, we could. I mean, they always compare Australia and Canada, so maybe Zadones becomes the new number one Aussie.
Hey, I could do that. Get old booty on the wall behind me.
Old who?
The Australian flag from The Simpsons.
Oh, okay. I've never seen The
Simpsons. And of course, Zerdones, thank you for being here and just putting up with this nonsense this week. I feel like we started off with such great promise, and I don't even know where we're at right now.
When you have me on, it's going to go off track.
No, it wasn't even you that caused it or any of us. I just think it's just the nature of things. But, folks, let us know what you think. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you think before the happy times arrive with 120 construction and the POH rework. We'll be here next week for that. But thank you, everybody. Hope you guys had a good week. And with that being said, we'll see you guys next week for another episode of RSBANDB Update. See you then, everyone. Take care.
Happy Skype and all.